Hey, good afternoon, boys and girls. How we doing out there? Welcome to Ready Set Live with ReadySetCrypto. My name is Doc Severson. We got Mav here with us. Today is the 13th of June. We're almost halfway through the month. How did that happen? Good to see you guys out there. So we're just going to, it's been a while. It's probably been about a month since we've done a live update because we've been doing a little bit of traveling, haven't we? Yeah. Hey, Mav, we lost your audio. There you go.
That's a optical illusion.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you were just, so yeah, like I said, we were doing some traveling and we all went over to the United Kingdom and then Mav decided to split off and went into parts unknown. So what did you learn on your trip out there, Mav?
Oh, the world's a very cool place. Definitely get out and explore. Europe's a great place to travel to. It's definitely cool to see just the different cultures and experience that sort of stuff. Yeah, I had a great time. I was in Italy, Switzerland, France, just places I've never been before. So it was a really good time. So thanks for being patient with us while we were out doing our thing.
Yeah, I had a slightly different agenda. My goal in the United Kingdom was to find the perfect pint. And I think I might have gotten close, but I'm not going to reveal my answer to that because those natives in the United Kingdom, I think, would be all over my case for that. Because everybody's got their own answer to it, right? But I kind of vectored in. I started, with one type of ale and I sort of vectored in and I found exactly what I liked. So that was, it took 2 weeks, but we finally got there.
Yeah.
But I did not hit the mainland. I stuck to United Kingdom. So we just went up to the top of Scotland and went through the Highlands. My God, I had no idea everything was up there. So without further ado, what's going on in crypto? What are you seeing out there, Mav?
Well, it's I think things are, thankfully they didn't do too much in terms of the market while we were gone. It's been this quiet trepidation, but I think we're seeing some things get kind of interesting right now. Certainly BNB and LTC have just been kind of killing it, respectively, because I guess Binance chain is becoming a bigger deal as IEOs become more and more frequent. And Litecoin has their halving in around 50 days or so in August. So just I think right now those two look pretty good. But guys, even just the overall market, I think is showing us that it's ready to move in certain directions. And there's just I feel like there's still this energy. We didn't like jump off the cliff like we did after consensus last year. We've kind of kept up the hype and the motivation and like the energy, and that's really good to see. I went to consensus a month ago, and that was awesome. I had a great time, and it was really cool to see our industry starting to break new ground and really become widely accepted and talked about, and just the conversations and discussions were just amazing. I think there's a lot of things that we're a lot of branching avenues that we're going in right now that are just very exciting to be a part of. So yeah, a lot to unpack, a lot to look forward to, but I'm just so excited to be in this industry right now.
Well, awesome. I am going to share some charts here.
Take it away
with you guys. And so the first one we're looking at is Bitcoin. And what I'm seeing here is some may look at this and say there's a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, it depends on what time frame that you're looking at. If you go out to a weekly chart, we just see a standard swing that is in exhaustion right now and may need to see a little bit more back and forth, a little bit more shake and bake. Let's go ahead and blow that out. Sorry, Mav, I've just reduced you. So we may see a little bit more shake and bake, a little bit more consolidation in here. Now, one of the things that I want you to be aware of, we may see this is, and I don't have my magic pen, I apologize for that, but we may see a really quick drop from here. So rising patterns tend to break to the downside. We may see one of these intraday drops that's in the near future, especially if this rally continues on very light volume. So we may see just sort of a quick air pocket that shows up here. So if you guys want to put your limit orders out there somewhere between 6,000 to 6,500 and just put it in good till cancel and forget about it, right? Just forget about it. So for those of you that look back on the previous dips and said, oh, I would have, could have, should have bought that dip, put yourself a good till cancel order and see if you can nab the next one, because, and we've all heard about that one that was on Kraken, right? That went down to what was it, 200 or something like that? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, guys. All right, I'll go back to this. See if we can equalize the size here. There we go. I got it. Got it. You're victorious.
Another couple of ones. If you guys, you should look right now. Look at the chart for Chainlink. That is, it's pretty incredible what it's doing right now. They just, what was it? Google tweeted. Where'd it go? I had it. I'm sorry. It's always, yeah. That looks like 2017.
Wow, and that's also versus BTC as well too. So
yes.
One of the things you're going to find out there, guys, is if you're trading your standard alts and you're going against Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is strong, you're going to be treading water for these. So if it's possible for you to trade the alts in something like well, not necessarily Tether, but USDC or anything else like that, or maybe even another top 10 coin, you could do it that way as well too. But again, quite honestly, a lot of the top 10 are going to be fairly strong. It's going to be, we got nothing else moving out there today. Yeah, Chainlink is really schmoking. Okay, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, another one I've been looking at is Quant, and I've been talking about that one for probably 6 months now, but it's really starting to make some movement as well. Trying to think some other ones. Yeah, it was cool for Chainlink. I met Sergey, who's the founder lead at Consensus, and he's a really sharp guy. Really's got some lot going on up there. So yeah, I think Chainlink is starting to move in a pretty good direction in terms of continuing to prove relevance, especially as we have these conversations about what is the larger vision for Ethereum and a lot of these smart contract and dApp platforms. There's a report just put out that a lot of dApp activity is fake on platforms like EOS because of bots. So like we are looking for more avenues and directions for dApp development and usage. It's a little bit of fighting an uphill battle, but it's cool to see that we are making progress and we are finding relevance, even if it's very small. So yeah.
Okay, so we'll spend the next 10 minutes here. We don't intend to invade your homes for very much longer today, but we will take your questions over the next 10 minutes. So let us know if there's anything. Like for me, don't ask me about the coin. Tell me to bring up the chart, because otherwise I really don't care about it, because I just care about what the price tells me. So that's why I like this Chainlink. This is cool. But so for you, Mav, let's see. Somebody's asking about Algorand. Algorand.
I have not checked that out. I've been sort of off my looking at altcoins game for a month.
What's your thoughts? So we have a Scottish Bull 80. Scottish Bull 80. We got to find out where you're from, because chances are we drove past you. So he wants to know about Elastos.
Yeah, I suppose I like Elastos. I still am on the fence regarding, they have some unique plans, I suppose. A blockchain operating system is pretty cool, and to be integrated in a lot of these different use cases as it relates to you know IoT or whatever. Yeah, it's cool stuff. I haven't really been following them too much recently. I haven't been following a lot of coins too much recently while I've been away. So I'll definitely look up what they've been up to. But yeah, it's cool. There was also a good question about IOTA that I also want to make sure I don't skip, because they specifically asked about the blockchain trilemma, which is a fancy way of asking about this sort of inherent question. It was coined by Vitalik. It's asking, or basically stating that you can't have a blockchain, or blockchain solutions inherently just can't solve this issue of having security, scalability, and being fast. So you can only pick two of the three. And I sort of reject that notion in some ways. I think that to look at that like almost like a zero-sum game where it's this binary of, yes, you can only have security and scalability. It'll be very slow. Well, yes, maybe that's the case in Bitcoin, because we aren't going to fork the consensus mechanism to like make it faster. But that doesn't mean that there's we can't inherently solve that missing piece of the trilemma with scaling solutions and layer 2 solutions and things like that. I've been working on a review of a project called StakeNet, and they're doing a lot of layer 2 stuff to give that functionality, that speed, the use cases we need on the Lightning Network built on top of Bitcoin. So there's many different ways we can look at this, and to look at it like a binary, I think is just kind of misguided and just is a little bit presumptuous, I suppose. That being said, IOTA is interesting. Any project that is exploring a blockchain alternative is interesting to me. DAG technology predates blockchain. It's been around for 30 years or so. And I think it is interesting, but I have yet to see truly if it can prove to be relevant and beat blockchain in some of those cases of IOTA is looking for microtransactions to power the machine economy. Awesome. I think that's really cool. But can they do it after they remove the coordinator? I don't know. So yeah, I suppose I do need to see what IOTA has been up to, and other non-blockchain projects like Polkadot continue to interest me. So yeah, there's a lot that's going on. I love that we're asking these sort of questions of can we look at other ways to find consensus in a decentralized way without using a blockchain or using a blockchain alternative. So anyways, let's see.
I'm gonna bond with Scottish Lady here for a second. Glasgow.
Yeah.
We were up in Glasgow, so let's see. We did Belhaven's best, thumbs up. Caledonia best, thumbs up again. And we went to the Tenants Brewery tour, and that was awesome. So that was our days in Glasgow. That was the highlights there. Let's see. You were asking about 0x, and the problem with 0x right now, especially if we trade this versus BTC, is it's not as strong as BTC right now. So it's getting its hat handed to it, as are most altcoins that people are having difficulty. So, I mean, this tells you the story right now. So if you want to ask about a specific project, all you have to do sometimes is just look at the price chart, and it will tell you pretty much what people think. There's also a question that was up here about, yeah, Edinburgh. Yeah, we loved it. We claimed Arthur's seat in Edinburgh, so that was we love Edinburgh. So man, I think I want to live in Scotland. So there was a question here about talking about buying the rumor, selling the news from Zach. Do you expect that Litecoin will drop in advance of the halving event or after? Well, nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. Typically, what happens is an event will typically mark the high water mark of a price because it's got nowhere to go. So people that think that they're going to wait for after the halving, oh, and then it's going to shoot up, are usually tremendously disappointed. So they provide the bid, which ends up walking down, and everybody else provides the supply. So buy the rumor, sell the news is usually the case. You can learn a lot about the previous halvings and how the price responded to those. And if, that would actually be a good project for us to do in the newsletter one of these nights, is to take a look at that and see the timing behind it. So yeah. All right, there you go.
I'm looking at the Litecoin run up and what it's going to do leading up to it and afterwards, as sort of a prototype or hint as to what's going to happen in a little less than a year when Bitcoin undergoes its halving event. At the end of the day, we're dealing with an event that takes an inherently deflationary, a scarce asset and then reduces by half the amount that gets interjected into the supply. So we're taking a scarce asset and making it even more scarce. Because certainly, what is going in, what is being injected into the Litecoin or Bitcoin economy with mining and the mining rewards is not keeping up with all the Bitcoin or Litecoin or other crypto assets that are being held, being lost. We by design only have a fixed supply of these assets, these crypto assets. So yes, I absolutely believe that it will probably lead up, it will probably drop off afterwards, but the overall trend is intact, and it will continue to be so because we're as the supply gets reduced, the demand just continues like almost linear in a certain way. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it is an interesting question, but I think the future is pretty. I think it's pretty predictable at this point.
Hey, the free trading exchange, which shall not be named, is actually up about 10-11% today.
Yeah,
not bad. Yeah. So somebody's the grown-ups have gotten into the room and are exerting some control, so that's good. So we're not going to talk too much about them. My sense is that we have spent our capital talking about them through two failed launches already, and we're kind of stepping back at this point and saying, you guys have got to prove it to us. So we are still invested in that, but we have significantly reduced our risk on that position.
Yeah, and we'll continue to take a cautious approach to it, but it's still the early days. I feel so even if they've lost their first mover advantage, we're still in a battleground of proving intent and their competitive advantage, I suppose, and that goes for many different projects. So yeah, it's all about seeing that enthusiasm and the passion, and continued work to make things better. So yeah, that's what this space is all about.
So Luke is saying that the logo is actually reversed behind me. So every time I turn around, it looks fine to me. I don't see what the problem is.
Oh man, jeez. Yeah.
What are long-term? Everybody's got bags.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Stephanie's talking about Zcash, ZEC happening as well.
Yep.
Anybody know a date on that one?
Sure, we can look it up.
I'm just a price chart idiot. What I find is that the less I know about something, or the less I portend to know about a specific coin, and the more that I just focus on the price, the better off that I do. Yeah. Usually what happens is if you know too much, all of a sudden you get confirmation bias and you will make absolutely the wrong decision because you're going along with the crowd. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
Anish, set my camera to anti-mirroring. You have no idea, sir. I have played with every single option as far as what is this, Logitech camera? I've played with every Logitech option that's on there. For the life of me, I cannot get this thing to reverse. So I apologize if it really bugs you. Then we'll get a mirror in here or do something with it. But it's to the point where I can't get it to go. So we'll live with it for now.
Yeah, regarding Matic, it is interesting, but I'm purposely staying cautious of these just like super shilled hype coins that sort of come out of nowhere, even if they do look good. Phantom, great example. Matic is sort of the flavor of the week, or it kind of was. Yeah, just we're getting back to this sort of like carnival of shitcoin shilling that was indicative of the ICO boom with the IEOs. And guys, just be very, very careful with that kind of stuff because you don't want to be the it's greater fool theory of like, at the end of the ride somebody has to be somebody's left with the bag. So just be careful with that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it is cool. It's cool to see all this like excitement and hype and like people getting back to like being thrilled to be part of the space and see what can be built, can be what you can get behind, that sort of stuff. So yeah, just go easy, pump the brakes a little bit. Don't go crazy with IEOs because in some ways, yes, it looks like oh, you could get a 300% return or something like that, but understand that like that's really hard to do, and a lot of times it's going to insiders and the sort of people that can get information first and that sort of thing. I don't know, so just be careful, okay?
Somebody was asking about Digibyte, and right now I've got the Digibyte versus BTC chart up, and it's not keeping pace with Bitcoin. So it's, I could also chart this versus USD, but it's really, really choppy and noisy. So doesn't look all that great.
Yeah, okay. So that is a good point, Crypto Nana. They did partner up with Chainlink. So it's not my intention to say that Matic is a shitcoin. It's not my intention to say that Phantom or Chainlink is a shitcoin. I think we can have a mature conversation about like, yes, there is definitely some value that is being built here. There's definitely some like cool stuff that these guys are working on and the partnerships that they're working on. That's awesome. What I'm cautioning, trying to make sure that we understand is that we went through this in 2017. So I want to make sure that we try to lessen this now. Just don't fall for hype cycles. Be smart about this. Try to find these opportunities before or after the just like massive boom and bust. This is just how it goes. I've been talking about Chainlink for 2 years now, and to see it like doing this is cool, but at the same time, like we were talking about this way before it was like hype. So like, yeah, just be careful is all I'm trying to say. Like I don't want to unfairly call anything poor or a scam when it doesn't deserve it. So there was also a question about okay, yeah, Swarm's cool. I've met some of the Swarm team, what they're doing, what Own is doing, what Smartlands is doing. They just announced that they're the first I guess company in the UK to tokenize real estate or have a platform for that. That's really cool. That's extremely cool, I think. I'm going to be doing some focus on like tokenized real estate with like them and this US based company called Realty, just about tokenizing real estate like that. There's also a question about FATF and Binance, what that's going to affect. Watch my video from earlier today, but basically there's a lot of FUD and misinformation around FATF. It's a suggestion. It is not a law, a ruling, or anything like that. They're trying to get like common sense, shared rhetoric, and just help regulators understand how to treat a Bitcoin address versus like an IBAN, and like how do we need to treat this space? How do we make sure that we give it the autonomy it needs while also enforcing AML, CTF, KYC, the stuff that is needed in a financial system that is, especially in a global sense. So yeah, maybe eventually that will affect Binance, but my feeling is by the time that happens, we're already to see a very different market, and Binance's position in that is going to be very different too. So, anyways, yeah, a lot of good questions, guys. I think this has been really. I'm glad we're back. I love doing this stuff with you guys. I think we collectively we have a lot of intelligence and sort of this chat room and this little community here. And it's so cool. All we want to do is foster that.
Yeah, nobody knows everything. So what we like to do is like everybody's got some little vertical spike of competency out there, and then when we put it all together in our room, that's where really the sparks fly.
Yeah.
So let's see. Christian was asking, are there legacy financial products representing fractional ownership of assets like real estate in the United States of America? Well, I mean, certainly not like tokenization would do, but I suppose right now we have like real estate investment trusts and ETFs like that, which are nowhere close to what the granularity that we would provide through STOs.
Yeah, check out the white paper for Realty. What they do is just in the terms of their PPM for these properties, you become like a fractional landlord almost of the property, and you get the dividends of the rental. What is that, like the revenue based off of that? And of course there's still like a management fee to make sure that the property is being well maintained and that sort of stuff. But that's really cool. I think that's how we need to approach things like asset ownership, especially related to like real estate in the future, and how things will start to slowly change. So yeah, just really, really cool stuff.
All right, let's take a couple more questions and then we shall be out of your hair.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here.
Oh yeah, there's a good question too, regarding the difference between an STO issuance platform or exchange that offers a token versus one that offers like actual equity. It's kind of a toss-up right now. Obviously, the utility token platforms are going to have a little bit of an advantage in the short term, just regarding your ability to trade them and get into them. But as far as I'm concerned, if I have an opportunity for equity, I want it, because even in a space like STOs, which are still going to take it's going to take some time for that to come to market and like truly mature. Getting equity at this day and age for a nascent industry like that is, I think, a really good bet, even if it's kind of high risk in some ways. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the dynamics play out, especially as larger institutions start to enter the field. But that being said, I think we've seen a pretty good start so far, and it's cool to be seeing that come to fruition. I was talking about STOs. I've been doing so for like a year now, and that was one of the biggest topics at Consensus, and like DeFi too. Just like what are we going to use this really cool technology, this application for, and the different ways that we can evolve that. So anyways, yeah, make sure get as many questions as possible. let's see. Yeah, in terms of property prices with SDOs and tokenized ownership, that's a really interesting question. I have no idea. Yeah, I think it's going to change the dynamics of the real estate market, and this is something that Realty talks about in their white paper in terms of like, you have inherently real estate right now is only accessible to those who have the means and the resources to be able to invest in that and manage it. And yeah, that to make it a more egalitarian system, to open that investment up to smaller traders and investors, that's pretty cool. So maybe we'll bring prices down or change the market. I don't know. But yeah, this is the kind of future that I'm excited to be a part of.
Oh, so here's a great question. Waba, can you explain if BTC gets adopted, who would spend it if it becomes 1 million or more in value? Everything is relative, right? Everything is relative. And the thing that's great about it is that you can slice and dice it up.
Yeah.
So, it's not like you have to carry, it's not like you can't subdivide it, right? It's not like you can't, chop it up and slice and dice into the levels of value that you want.
Yeah, this is here's a really good question. What I am most excited about for the future of crypto. Wow. Well, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot. I think I sort of touched on this in the video I put out on Monday regarding Facebook coin. That's not what I'm most excited about, obviously. But what I talked about a little bit in that video is sort of the dynamics that are starting to unfold right now, where we're not directly fighting banks. We're not directly fighting governments or anything like that. What I'm seeing kind of evolve right now, I asked this question on Twitter, or sort of positioned this, like if we imagine a world where there is a lot of adoption of Bitcoin and, like merchants and individual people are using it, or, just crypto in general, whatever. If we imagine a world like that, what does it take to make that happen? And then what does that open up for us? We talk about like, what does a world of cryptocurrency look like? To me, that's just the first step. That's only the beginning of the possibilities being built here, and especially when we talk about it in conjunction with the emerging technologies fields that are being built up right now: AI, automation, IoT, globalization in general, a more globalized economy. What does that look like, and how do all of these things come together and start to shape the world in ways we've never seen before? I think the next 20 years are going to be just absolutely mind-blowing in terms of how the dynamics change. And in part, that's what's inherent in blockchain, but also just like technology in general. I think it serves to just question things and build things, and just build a more efficient, fair system. So yeah, I think we're on the precipice of some really cool stuff. Anyways, I always go off on these tangents.
Some of the questions I think that we're seeing in the room, and this is, I don't have a specific answer to this, but let me just relate what I've learned being a retail investor myself and going through the entire progression from absolute noob to wherever I am today. So whatever that level is today, but it's after 20 some years of playing around with these things and these assets, is that all the best decisions that you will ever make, the decisions that you will look back on someday and say, wow, man, you throw your shoulder out of kilt because you're patting yourself on the back. Those will be the worst feeling decisions that you will ever make. At the time, you will say, like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I don't know why I did that. This feels stupid. And you'll look back on those and you'll say, wow, I really did the right thing. Conversely, all the decisions that you make right now that are based on your need to feel certainty You need to feel like logic is putting all the little pieces together for you. So if you're waiting until everything lines up just perfectly, chances are you're going to make the wrong decision at the wrong time. That's the one thing I've learned about financial markets, is that the best decisions always feel terrible to make. So if you guys are out there just like waiting for somebody to tell you what to do, if you're waiting for Bitcoin to hit 1 million before you feel good enough to buy into it, you've waited too long, right? So some of these decisions that you make, right, you're going to have to decide whether or not you're an investor or whether you're a trader. First of all, if you're a trader, you got a very short time horizon. If you're an investor, you got a much longer time horizon. If you have a long time horizon, then it doesn't really matter what the price is today, because it'll be just noise years from now, one way or the other. And who knows what things are going to be. We don't happen to have any kind of insight in terms of what the price will be on any asset tomorrow or the day after or next year. We don't. There's nothing that we can say that will shed any light on whether something will be a good asset or a bad asset a year from now. We don't know. We can look at the logic, we can look at the purpose behind some things, but when it comes down to it, really the simple explanation here is if you truly believe in a project, then dip your toe in. Start looking for dips. Look for ways to get invested into that asset and then leave it alone. Leave it alone. Unless you're going to be a trader, in which case you're going to be looking at very short time frames, looking for little bits of edge here and there, things like that. That's mostly what I look at.
Yeah.
So hopefully that makes sense. Occasionally I'll get on the soapbox and talk about this, but guys, if you're looking for certainty in something, if you're looking for all the logic to come together to give you 100% certainty on an investment, chances are you've missed it by that point.
Journey before destination.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that's a good segue to start to wrap this up, but also to start to talk about a little bit of what we're working on and some of the things that we're excited about. For one, we're excited to be back, and we're going to be committing ourselves to more content. We're just gonna we've been working on getting this system set up so that we can do that more content for you guys, because we want to give you more mediums of podcasts, blog posts, and Medium articles, and more videos and live streams and all this sort of stuff, and more classes too. That's another thing we're going to be putting out, is like we want to do these like micro classes of an hour long topic discussion on a very focalized issue or something that we care strongly about. And we're going to be expanding our team, and
we're going to do these classes, these micro classes. We're going to do them in the public channel. So if you see us today talking to you today on the YouTube channel, we're going to do these things for free. Mm-hmm. And the reason why we're doing those for free is a couple of reasons. So first of all, because you guys need to know, because the community needs to know, and we're part of the solution, not part of the problem. The second thing why we're doing this is maybe, just maybe, that you'll want to join us, right? So if we show our chops to you, if we show that we have some depth towards what we do, maybe you'll want to join us and join our community and raise your game. It's really that simple. We have no hidden agendas here.
Yeah, from the start, we've never been paid to shill a project or put out a video or do anything in regards to no one can buy our opinions. We base those opinions on research and fact and experience, and we want to build the very best community in crypto, and it's always a work in progress, but it's something that we take a lot of pride in, making sure that we're building quality. We're not trying to we're not out there constantly selling. We're not about quantity. We want to build quality. We want to build this sense of trust with you guys, because this is such a tough space to operate in like by yourself, and just there's many people that would take advantage of your trust, and we don't want to do that. We want to build something that you can inherently just be a part of and feel comfortable that it's about the bigger vision. It's about the bigger space. It's about longer term objectives. And that's what we want to embody. So
there's really a second dimension behind everything that we do, and for some of you it'll take you a few years to catch on to this, but and this goes to to the soapbox that I was just on, but all the best decisions that you will make in investing are the ones that do not come naturally to you, because we are taught from the cradle that risk is bad. Right? Everybody knows that risk is bad. Look out, don't go outside, you'll get hit by a car, those kind of things. And we have to learn to turn that formula on its head for us to take risk in markets. And I get these questions every day, like, oh, I'm afraid to invest in this. Well, it's not supposed to feel good. You're rarely going to have an opportunity where everything lines up like that. So there's the whole second dimension, besides the logic and the charting and all the cool stuff, there's this whole other side of things, which is called experience. And that's something that you're either going to acquire that through market education. So in other words, you're going to pay the market, you're going to fund somebody else's account to learn these things. Or you can join up with another community and learn these things and be mentored. So it's one way or the other. If you want to be a successful investor, you'll have to learn how to go against some of your baser instincts to survive in a market like this.
Yeah. So, guys, we appreciate you being a part of this community. Regardless if you want to join our premium Omnia membership or not, we're all in this together, and I don't want to turn anyone away just because we have a business to support, obviously, but that doesn't mean we won't continue to produce the best free content that we can, because this space is too damn important to be relegated to the scam artists and the Ponzi schemes and all that sort of stuff. We all understand that there's a higher mission here. There's a vision. And, we want to help foster that. So, that's what we're here to do. We're here to provide information. We're here to provide education. We're here to collectively grow. And, that's been the mission from day one, and will continue to be so.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's based on an abundance mentality, right? There is no lack of abundance. There is no lack of resources that are out there. It's not like, oh, there's only so much money that can be made in the market. No, that's bunk. There's an unlimited amount of money that's out there, and if you want a better future, all you have to do is design it. And that's what we're here to help.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody, I think we have overstayed our welcome with your patience. So,
but we do appreciate it. And we're so excited to be back. I think, thank you for giving us a rest, and we're just going to hit it from this point on. We're excited to be back. We're excited to talk to you guys and continue to deliver just awesome content. So we're only halfway done with 2019. I think we've got a lot more to go before the end of the year, and the future's very bright. So, but yeah, thank you guys. We always appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Hey, if we didn't answer your question, it's nothing personal. There's only so much time we have. So thanks, everybody. We will catch you guys shortly. Take care now.
Take care, guys.